Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Sinead. How exciting is this?
It is super exciting. As you can see, I'm a little bit of a bedhead this morning because it has been a long weekend, which I know everybody else has had the same experience, but it's been so amazing. I am so pumped. How are you getting on? How are you feeling? It's our last day.
I know. I actually so when we connected this morning first, I was like, how is it Sunday? How did this actually happen? It's just been such a whirlwind, but it's so exciting. Like I had just the best day. Like yesterday, the day just flew. Like, so I was literally there logging off at 10:30 last night going, how have I been online since 8 o'clock, but I want to stay online. Like the ideas that are being worked on, like seeing the way that people are coming together, like the energy from our mentors, from our like champion facilitators, from the participants, the judges getting all excited for today. I mean, it's just so much, Sinead.
There's it's quite cool. So I got to speak to a few of the participants this morning even. So me and Raghu were even having a chat, and he's never done a startup weekend before. So it was great to hear the feedback that he's really enjoying at the moment, getting to work on a team where they're coming from diverse backgrounds, and that, you know, they're bringing so much different perspective into the ideas, which you and me both know from previous startup weekends. It's one of the biggest positive, great things you get out of doing a startup weekend. So it's super cool to see that feedback is already feeding in. We got some amazing feedback yesterday from the mentors, which was quite cool as well. But yeah, it's super exciting day. It's so thanks everybody for like getting yourselves up early, working on the project. We'll have the submission line at 1 p.m. today. So I think it's a little earlier than we'd normally have a startup weekend. But I think that's all the more reason why it's so amazing to see you guys all here powering ahead. So Aisling, we might just start into the deck ourselves and get everybody across, just kind of bring across like the main points for today, guys, just to reiterate that one last time. So we'll bring up my shared screen and we'll try to get this working. I'm not like phenomenal at tech, but we shall see how this goes.
It's looking good, Sinead.
Yes. Technology has nothing on me. Perfect. Can everybody see that so?
I think so.
Is that in full mode? Perfect. We'll start on. So guys, it is Sunday morning. Thank you for tuning in with us here at Startup Weekend Ireland. Me and the team wish you all the best ahead of today. We are super excited to see all the pitches. We even on Friday were just excited already knowing what the ideas were, but we know you've probably pivoted a lot and you've changed. You might have changed who your market is or who you're targeting. You might have changed even the revenue model. There's so many things that happen throughout a startup weekend. So I can guarantee you when we look back and try to see the ideas that came out of Friday and what are going to be pitched this evening, there's going to be a big difference in most of the ideas. So we'll get started. Sunday morning, what happened? What is Startup Weekend Ireland? We had 207 participants sign up. We had 47 ideas submitted. And for all of you brave participants right now, courageous, giving up your whole weekend to tackle COVID-19, you guys are bringing this to the submission line, to the pitching line, to the final. So one country, one team, one idea at a time. I think you'll all realize how important and how true and how applicable this is after the amount of effort that you and all your teammates and the mentors and organizers and everyone has put in. So just a reflection, I guess. Let's look back at the whirlwind of a day that day two was. You guys got to learn from some of the best experts and mentors on hand. You guys attended workshops. So we had lovely yoga. We had yoga from also and lovely stretching from Aisling, who's on with us this morning. And also you had a fabulous presentation done by Ed Fidgen Kavanagh. It's always such a hard one for me to say, but he gave an absolutely amazing 12-minute presentation for you guys, workshop. And we know we had a bit of difficulty with it yesterday, but we got it fixed. We got it up. So we'll have a link to it later on that Sam, our lovely tech guy who's in the background there, is going to put into the description or into the comment section. So guys, we would all strongly advise for you guys to make sure and get to, even if you did watch it yesterday, go back and look at it again this morning so that those main points and what you're really trying to get across is just fresh in your minds. It's super hard to translate things on video and even online. And even I know myself, I'm like moving my hands right now just so that I feel like I'm bringing across a point or a value. So make sure and check out that video and see what tips and apply them to your own ideas and your own pitches for this evening. And I'm sure all of you have started on your final deck. And if not, finished your final deck already and are just trying to get that video perfected. So day 3, like I said, it's all about perfecting that pitch, and that's where Ed's video and presentations will come in super handy. Submit your pitch today, hard 1 p.m. deadline. It is getting super close. So thanks everybody for jumping on as early as possible to get started. And then of course, guys, the last thing to do is just change the world. It's really simple, really. All you have to do is just change the world. So I'm going to hand it over to Aisling. So Aisling is going to take us through the judging criteria today. That's super, super important. So Aisling, you carry on and I'll swap the slides here.
Super. Thanks so much, Sinead. So guys, like Sinead said, you know, we're on to our final day. It's just amazing that we've gotten here. And certainly from the organizing team's perspective, you're all just playing such a blinder. So just to remind you once again about the judging criteria that your pitches are going to be judged against. So you've got a number of different elements, and these have been presented to you across the course of the weekend. But it's just really important that we hit those home and we make sure that we're touching on all of these points as you prepare your pitches for the judges today. And remember that they will be going live on the top 10 at 5 o'clock this evening. So the whole world could potentially see them. So really what you're looking to do is, if we pop onto the next slide, Sinead, and we'll look at the problem and impact. So the problem that we're facing this weekend, the problem that we're looking for solutions for this weekend is COVID-19, right? It's a global pandemic. It's the biggest crisis that any of us have seen. And so like that, there are so many different solutions, and we saw 47 amazing ideas shortlisted down to 18. I think 15 have come together over this weekend to be developed. So looking at how the solution is relevant to the context of COVID-19. So it's going to be important that you reference that within your pitch. What is the value that you're providing to the customers? And did you get to talk to potential customers? So this was something, as the social media manager over the weekend, I saw so many of your wonderful surveys, and we popped them out across Twitter and Facebook. So I hope you had great response from customers when, obviously in the current context, you weren't actually able to physically go and speak to them. So we pop on there, Sinead. So the execution and design, so have you looked at a minimum viable product for your service or product? Is it something that's technically viable? So you don't need to have something that's actually functioning. You can have storyboards of how it will function. There's a lot of different ways that you can prepare an MVP for this weekend, and like that, to be able to demonstrate this in your deck. So like that, it might be a storyboard of what the customer journey is going to be when they engage with your product. Next slide, Sinead. So is it original, right? So it can be simple, it can be a new application of something that maybe already exists, but it needs to show that there is a clear originality to your idea as well. We'll pass on to the next slide. Is it feasible? So is it something that can be worked out? Is it something that needs a lot of regulation to make it feasible, to make it happen? So like that, can you see a clear pathway to develop this project? And have you looked at the feasibility of this within the context of the current crisis and how you would get it over the line? Next slide there. And the business model. So you've had your lean canvas. So this is a brilliant tool for you to really touch on all of these points so that you get the potential to become a real business. You're demonstrating clearly the solution and the problem that you're solving, and how you're going to get to the customers. What are your different channels? We pop on there, Sinead.
Perfect.
So you've got that. I think we had it. So Sam put it into the pitch. So that's the link to Ed's workshop, which I'm sure you've all watched already. But just in case you need a refresher, this is where you go to get it back.
For sure. I think it's a nice one as well. If you're, if you've probably been thinking about it all night, you're really trying to perfect it. You've done up the slide deck and like now you have to submit the video part of it as well. I think go back, even grab some popcorn or grab your morning coffees, do it as a team, all watch it together and say, hey guys, have we covered these elements? Have we applied this to our presentation? Do it as a group little morning get together. Whatever you do, make sure these things are fresh in your mind. The resources are there to help you so that you get the best out of the weekend. And you've worked tirelessly, I always get that one, tirelessly over this whole 54 hours. You've done the hard work. Now it's the part about showing it off. So we just want to make sure that you have those tools and resources that you can do that to the best of your ability now for the long haul stretch. So guys, who are these lovely faces that will be looking at all your pitches this evening? You're going to have David Byrne, he's the SVP at UPMC International. You've Jean Kelly, who's a partner at LK Shields, and she's in with data protection, privacy and contracts. You have Conor Laverty, who's the CEO at WIA. And you have Alan Costello, for a venture investment leader at NDRC, and Leslie Harris, who's the managing director at EIT Health UK and Ireland. So guys, we have like an absolutely insane judging panel that have given up their time this evening, and it's super difficult because we don't allow them to touch base with us throughout the weekend, so they don't know your ideas, they don't know what's ahead of them, but they're super excited. So we've sent out the email this morning to them, refreshing the criteria again that Aisling just went through in their minds. So make sure you're touching on all of those points because that's what's going to be fresh in their heads. So how is the judging going to work, you say? Right, round one. So submitting your pitch video and your deck, that's going to be put into us by 1 p.m. Your champion facilitators have a Google form link. And in that Google form link, it's just a simple form where you pop in all the information and the pitch video and deck. So if you haven't seen it already or gotten it, your champion facilitator, reach out to them. They have that link ready for you. Your pitch needs to be between 3 to 4 minutes length. Please don't make it any longer than 4 minutes. It won't be able to be shown. That's an absolute pity. Your whole team, all of you have put in so much work. So please just make sure it's between the 3 to 4 minutes. And then the finishing of the round one is the ideas selected for the final pitch. So the outcome is of the 15 ideas, 10 of them will be going forward for the... Sorry, I was clapping my lap. I hope that came across as a drum roll. We will be having our Sunday pitches at 5 p.m. this evening, live here again on YouTube. So here you're going to have the 10 best ideas streamed onto YouTube, and the judges are going to be watching these and deliberating again. Coming out basically with the top 3, which is going to be super difficult because we've seen the feedback from mentors and we've been talking to them and trying to get their idea. And to be honest, they're giving so much diverse answers because they all love and all resonate with a specific idea and startup to themselves. And I think that just even proves as well how needed a startup weekend like this needs to be on COVID-19 because everybody is facing a different challenge. So it's amazing the diversity of the ideas that have come forward and are worked on. Some quick tips, guys, again, to record your pitch. If you haven't done so already or haven't started or chosen what platforms you're going to use, we have 2 options that are free. You could go and use Google. So Google support.google.com Meet. So that was the worst run through of that. But these links will be given to your champion facilitator. So you have Zoom and you have Google. So make sure to jump in and grab the both of them. They're both absolutely amazing. And we've all kind of used them before for recording your pitches. That will be perfect standard for tonight. So a quick link again, and also a massive thank you to the champion facilitators who've basically given up their whole weekend to check in and make sure that you guys are being okay. Have you got the support you need? Have you got the direction you need? Are you stuck? Are your team having issues? They've been also feeding back to us so that we can make sure that you're getting the best experience. So these guys really just need a big pool of us because they are phenomenal people and have just given up their time once again for a startup weekend. So check-ins this morning, guys. So when you get back off this, make sure if you have any questions or if you need more mentors, we have some amazing mentors that have come back on hand. And these are seasoned Startup Weekend professionals, guys. These are seasoned people who can get you and your idea. If you're struggling on, maybe if there's a part of the lean canvas model that you're still really trying to figure out that revenue model, or you're wondering what your pitch is looking like, and do you have everything included? Do you need to put in more? These mentors are really the people who get you to the finish line. So if any of you are hungry, you might want to hop over to David Pollard's Twitter account, where he has some famous food photos. This guy, seriously, I'm gone vegetarian, and it's slightly making me miss meat a little, the way he's putting up some of the food photos. But yeah, guys, we just want you to check in with your champion facilitators this morning and really just get going. Here's our hashtag. We really encourage that if you're reaching out anymore for any more last minute validation, even just for sharing your ideas on Twitter, please use the hashtag so that we can on our end share it with the rest of the world as well. So that's all from us really on that side. What we could just suggest now is really getting back to Discord. I'm going to turn off this presentation deck because that's it, and I'll stop sharing that screen. So I just want to thank everybody again for coming on board. We have some amazing prizes lined up this evening, guys. We'll have the top first, second, and a notable third place, where we have vouchers, we've t-shirts, we have the 6 months hot desking that's been given to us by Dog Patch. We have goodie bags for the first place, and then we also have the Techstars prizes themselves, guys. So just bear in mind that you have so much opportunity following this Startup Weekend. You have the opportunity to pitch for NDRC, you have the opportunity to pitch at Elkstone. So there's definitely legs after this Startup Weekend. Do not feel that this is an idea that might not get the chance to go further, because Aisling, you're down in Art Labs. You know how great NDRC are. You have a program up and running now. How exciting is it to see the new cohorts and stuff in?
Oh, for sure. And actually, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Sinead, because it's actually our program in Art Labs that the winner of this weekend is getting the opportunity to pitch for. So it comes with the proviso that there's prior mentoring required with Alan Costello. But like that, they will hopefully come to our Labs to pitch. But I mean, look, with the current circumstances, it might be a virtual scenario. But seeing the way that we have been able to mobilize this, seeing the way that the mentors, the judges, the facilitators, the participants, the organizing team have all been able to use these different tools and resources, just shows how much we can do online. So yeah, it's super exciting.
I think I was saying this to Aisling this morning. I think just the biggest differentiation is that at the end, sometimes the achievements aren't felt with a warm hug with your teammates afterwards, or just having a drink and clicking the glasses together. But outside of this, we've both said it, is that we still have that Startup Weekend buzz and excitement about us the whole way throughout the weekend, and that's down to you participants engaging with us and us engaging with you, and the mentors coming on board and getting the feedback. So every time you comment and every time you watch or every time you click online so that we can see, that encourages engagement from us and it encourages it from ye. So I think if there's anything to take forward about being in a virtual setting, just make sure that you are putting in that comment, or don't just leave it in your head being like, oh, that was really nice or whatever. Give that compliment, put out there, ask that question, because that is what you would do in real life. You would go up to someone and you'd have that experience. So thank you to everybody for every single click, 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 and every single type and enter and positive comment and question and engagement. It's meant the world to us, because we've got to experience Startup Weekend the way we love it and know it. Aisling, I think before we go, I think I'd love to hear, seeing as you are with Art Labs and you have seen startups come in and pitch before, what would you suggest, any top tips for the guys presenting this evening? Any last little nuggets of gold to take away with them?
I think the key thing is to just breathe and relax into it. I think it's an interesting context, right, that we're presenting online because it's pre-recorded. The teams have the opportunity to take and retake. But I would also think that that's probably, there's a benefit and disadvantage to that, because you could get stuck in that cycle of perfectionism. So I would say just really stick to the judging criteria, structure your pitch across those points, right? Like make it really, really easy for the judges to pick your product, right? Like that's the key thing. So like that, being really clear, being really concise in the language that you use, being really straightforward, like this flowery language or this kind of jargon, it's not necessary. Like stick to the point, tell us what it is that you need or that you're solving. And I think that's the key thing. And like that, make sure that I'm using your term as well. Make sure you use us. Like literally, I'm hopping off here and I'm popping over to Discord. And like that, pop in and ask me a question, or if you need me to pop into your team or anything like that, like I'm just delighted to do it. So, use us and let's get this over the line for 1 o'clock.
For sure. So guys, one thing I want to leave you with, because it kind of just adds on, and as well, Techstars have really, we just have to give like an amazing appreciation to the Techstars community itself and what they've given ye the opportunity. So outside of Ireland itself, I mean, now there is, I think it's something like 70 countries that have taken part in this global initiative. And I think it's something like 57 are on this weekend. And out of that, a total of 20 teams are going to be taken into Techstars Bootcamp Innovation. So all of you guys have an amazing opportunity to get, anyway, are a part of the Techstars Global Network, but you have the opportunity for your idea to come first and to get into that amazing Bootcamp Innovation scheme.
I assume the organisers go too, Sinead, right?
I wish, Ashley. I wish. That's a great point. I think we should just put our names down and say that we were in the team with them. So if anybody's looking for extra teammates, we'll join in if we can be involved to get into the bootcamp. And then the top 5 from that bootcamp, guys, are going to be given $10,000 from Differential Ventures, which is a substantial amount to get you guys kicked off, started, and get the idea off the ground. So yeah, just there's so much opportunity. There's so many next parts to this. I'm so excited for every single one of you. It's an incredible opportunity. And it's great to have Aisling on here this morning with me. We're sorry that Gene couldn't be here. He's currently picking out which shirt to wear for this evening. And I know, they're always at good standards, so you can understand the difficulties he's currently having. Mm-hmm. But we want to give a massive thank you as well to Sam in the background, who is going to give us a wave. Yeah. Brilliant. And the rest of the team, organizing team, are up and running this morning. So guys, you'll get an email with all the tools, the resources, the YouTube link for later on. And until then, you can catch us all on Discord. So we will see you. Thank you guys for reaching out and all your comments, and we'll see you guys later.
Go teams.